All right, let's talk about the food that fuels pretty much all the AI you interact with every single day. That's right, I'm talking about data. We're going to break down what our apps are eating and why you should probably care.
You know that feeling, right? You're scrolling and suddenly a video pops up that's just so weirdly specific to you, it's almost spooky. Or maybe you get an ad for something you just mentioned to a friend. It really makes you wonder, is my phone reading my mind?
Well, the secret is they're not reading your mind. They're just really, really well fed. And today, we're going to take a good look at what's on their menu.
See, AI isn't some kind of magic. It's a machine. And what does a machine need? It needs fuel. But AI is a special kind of machine, right? It's a learning machine. So to get smarter, it needs to be fed information. And that food, that fuel, well, that's data.
And when we say data, don't let the word scare you. It's really just information. Simple as that. For an AI, this information is the raw material for absolutely everything it does, whether it's recommending your next favorite song or, helping to drive a car. An AI without data is like a brilliant chef with a totally empty kitchen. They've got all the skills, but they can't make a thing.
All right, so let's start with the first thing on the menu. This is the stuff we know we're feeding our apps. We're doing it on purpose. You can think of this as the main course, the meal we're cooking up and serving on a silver platter.
Okay, let's dive into this. The first main food group is what we call active data. This is the meal. Every single time you like a post, you're basically tapping the AI on the shoulder and saying, hey, I like this, show me more of this. Same thing when you type in a search, fill out your profile info, or shoot someone a DM. You are literally actively handing over a plate full of information. But, and this is a big but, that's not the whole story, not even close.
Right, so that was the main course. But the AI's diet isn't just about the big meals we serve it. Oh no, it is also an expert at gobbling up all the tiny crumbs and little scraps we're constantly dropping, most of the time without even noticing.
And here it is, the other half of the menu, passive data. We're talking about the digital crumbs. This is all the information that gets collected quietly in the background. Stuff like where you are, thanks to your phone's GPS, what time of day you tend to scroll, the exact kind of phone you're using. Get this, even how long your thumb hovers over a single post before you move on. You're not trying to give this information away, but believe me, it's being collected.
So this passive data has a technical name, metadata. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It's just a fancy way of saying data about your data. Think of these as the hidden ingredients, the secret sauce that adds all the flavor and context. So geospatial data, that just answers the question, where are you? Temporal data, when are you online? And technical data, what kind of device are you using? Every single one of these little crumbs adds another layer of detail, painting a richer picture for the AI. So let's put it all together. What happens when an AI eats all of this stuff? The big meals we serve it and all those tiny crumbs it picks up, the active and the passive data. Well, it doesn't just digest it and forget it. No, it uses every last morsel to build something incredibly, incredibly detailed.
It builds your digital portrait. And no, I'm not talking about an actual picture. It's way more complex than that. It's a constantly updating, super detailed profile of you. It's basically a big collection of predictions about your habits, your interests, even your personality. And it's all built from that digital diet that you're constantly feeding it.
And that right there, that's the reason why those recommendations can feel so spot on, it's a little creepy. The AI can guess your interests, figure out your daily routine, and even know your shopping habits, because it's all right there in the portrait. But here's the most important takeaway. The AI isn't thinking. It's not conscious. It's just an incredibly powerful pattern matching machine. It's looking at the portrait it built of you and finding things that fit.
Okay, so knowing all this is actually really powerful. It's the first step to taking back some control. Now that you know what's on the AI's menu, you can start thinking more like the chef and less like, the ingredients. It's all about being a bit more conscious of your digital diet.
And this quote really nails it, doesn't it? The first real step to having some control, what we call digital agency, is just knowing the difference between the data you choose to give away and the data that's just taken. Once you can see the meals versus the crumbs, you can start making smarter choices about what you're putting on the table.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. If you could see a complete printout, a full menu of every single piece of data you generated in just the last 24 hours, what do you think your digital diet would say about you?